where first time I've heard publicly in this type of atmosphere. At the rally, he made fun of Senator Plain quite a bit. Not her specifically, but Alaska. But that's beside the point. Where he called out McCain right then and there. He's just like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And he was just like straight talk express, because that's what McCain is trying to do. Is I'm just American and I'm just talking to you. So that was funny. He gives, yet again, a plan. Here is my tax cut plan. This is what I want to do for 95% of you. 95% of Americans are going to see a tax cut. And then he goes on to talk about his health care a little bit. This is when he first starts talking about health care. And then he reminds us about what Senator McCain has planned, which is basically, we're not going to talk about it, but it's in the document. Basically, he is going to just kind of keep it how it is. He's not changing it. He's not, readjusting it. And he's just going to allow the businesses to get the tax credits that they have. Then McCain goes to answer the question, and he says, sure, I'll answer that question. And he says it's not that tough. We know what the problems are. And my friends, we know what the fixes are. Okay, then why hasn't it been fixed? If you know what the problem is, it's easy to fix, then fix it. What's the problem then? Clearly, that's not the truth. You're not telling us the truth. And then this next part where he goes on to talk about Medicare, I literally do not understand a word that comes out of his mouth, so I can't really break this down for you too much. It gets so confusing. My friends, what we have to do with Medicare is have a commission, have the smartest people in America come together, come up with recommendations, and then, like the base closing a commission idea we had, then we should have Congress vote up or down. I don't know what he just said. I'm sorry. I think he's playing the game along with us. Okay, next question. Senator, this comes from the gallery as well. Senator, selling health care coverage in America has become a marketable commodity. It has become very profitable industry. Do you believe that health care should be treated as a commodity? And this is a fundamental difference between Senator McCain and Senator Obama. Fundamental. This is probably one of the biggest ones that, in my opinion, other than war. This is big, huge. Okay. Obama's the first answer. Well, as I have traveled across the country, this is one of the single most frequently asked issues that I get, is the issue of health care. So one of the things that I have said from the start of this campaign is that we do have a moral commitment, as well as an economic imperative to do something about the health care crisis that so many families are facing. If you do not have health insurance, you are going to be able to buy the same kind of insurance that Senator McCain and I enjoy as federal employees, because there's a huge pool. We can drop the cost, and nobody will be excluded for pre-existing conditions, which is a huge problem. Now, Senator McCain has offered a different kind of approach. He is going to give you a $5,000 tax credit. What he doesn't tell you is that he is going to tax your employer-based health care benefits for the first time ever. So, with one hand giveth, the other hand taketh away. That, I do not think, is the kind of change we need. We've got to have somebody who is fighting for the patients and making sure that you get a decent, affordable health care. And that's something I am committed to do as president. And Brokaw then says, Senator McCain. McCain responds, you really identified one of the really major changes that America faces. Co-payments go up, costs go up, skyrocketing costs, which make people less and less able to afford health insurance in America. But what is at stake here is the health care issue is a fundamental difference between Senator Obama, myself and Senator Obama. As you notice, he starts talking about the government. starts saying government will do this and government will do that and government will, and he'll impose mandates. I want to give every American a $5,000 refundable tax credit they can take anywhere across state lines. Why not? Don't you go across state lines to purchase other things in America? Of course. It's okay to go across state lines because in Arizona they may offer a better plan that suits you best than here in Tennessee. Obviously, small business people want to give their employees health insurance. Of course they want to do that. We've got to give them the wherewithal to do it. And we can do it by giving them, as a start, a $5,000 refundable tax credit to go around and get health insurance of their choice. Okay, so the question was, of course, should the health insurance become a commodity similar to the banking industry, which is what in previous debates and interviews has been talked about. Fundamentally different. I cannot use that word enough, how extremely different the two of them are on this. McCain wants it privatized, and it's up to you to figure out what to do, and Senator Obama wants to have it be federalized. Not forced federalized, but if you work somewhere, and I said this before, if you work at, I'm not going to say a specific place, but restaurant du jour in town, they do offer health insurance. It's horrible. I mean, your copay is ridiculous, and you have to go to the doctor umpteen million times before you ever get to the place where you don't have to pay the $150 to go see the doctor. So he's offering the ability to opt into the federal program if you want to. That's your decision. You don't have to. If you want your companies, take your companies. If you want to come over and deal with the federal government, fine. If you have no option, then here's the federal government. You have that option. You can always opt into what we have. What McCain says is, his $5,000 refundable tax credit, but he doesn't address the fact that it's actually not a tax credit. It's money that will go directly to your health insurance, and then your employer will be taxed for that. He doesn't address that. And then he does say that absolutely you should be able to go to whatever state you want to and buy your health insurance, which leads us into the next question, which is, quickly, is health insurance or health care in America a privilege, a right, or responsibility? And McCain answers first. I think it's a responsibility in this respect, in that we should have available and affordable health care to every American citizen, to every family member. And with the plan that I have, that will do that. But government mandates, I'm always a little nervous about. American citizens understand that, employers understand that,